But let's get on to the Zoom. Let's speak to my colleague, Gabriel Ofei. He was in Kumasi and still is in Kumasi as we speak, to get a sense of how the people in Kumasi absorb the game, what they have been saying, and what the reactions are to the Black Stars' latest win in the AFCON qualifiers. They beat the Central African Republic 2-1 to book their tickets to the AFCON that will be played in Cote d'Ivoire in January 2024. Gabby, if you can hear me, many thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Nathan. How are you doing too?
Hello, Gabby, can you hear me?
Yeah, Nathan, can you hear me?
Okay, all right. I'm sure we'll try.
Hi, Nathan.
Yes, hi, Gabby. How are you doing?
Okay, yes. I'm good. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, thankfully. The gremlins are no longer in the line. Take us through yesterday. We watched it on TV. You were at the stadium. Just take us through the range of emotions of the fans, how they were reacting to everything that happened. First, Ghana conceded, then they equalized, then they went 2-1 up. How did the match flow from a fan perspective as you watched the fans and how they reacted to what was happening on the pitch?
Well, Nathan, I think that so like you said, I was closer to the fans. I was almost like in between them. So that's the place where you hear all sort of analysis. I mean, that's saying that every Ghanaian that watches the Black Stars is a coach. Now, before the goal came from Luis Mafuta, that's a cash striker, okay, you could sense the enthusiasm, or you could sense that hope from lots of the Kumasi fans that the Black Stars were going to qualify.
Okay.
The only thing they were talking about before the game itself was the inclusion of Andre Ayew. Why Pizutin decided to include him in the squad despite not playing football or despite being unattached for some months now. And when they saw the lineup and he was not part of the lineup, they were okay. Another concern they raised was why Baba Rahman was starting ahead of Gideon Mensah, because, I mean, Baba Rahman's last game for the Black Stars was the first game against Madagascar under Otuado. Ever since, he's not played the rest of the games up until yesterday's game against CAR. I mean, the fans were hoping that Gideon Mensah gets the nod ahead of Baba Rahman. And clearly, it showed in the first half that you could sense that he was, I mean, it felt like every touch he took wasn't pleasing in the eyes, or wasn't pleasing to the eyes of the fans. Because if they had their own way, if they were to be in Chris Hughton's shoes, they would have yanked him off and bring on Gideon Mensah. Because, I mean, just because of his recent performances with the Black Stars, and I mean, some other reasons. So, and another thing they talked about too was Kudus. Now, every time Kudus gets the ball, you just hear the roar. Now, Kudus, it means that either they are calling for a shoot or something magical from him. And clearly, it paid off with that free kick he took, getting the equalizer for the Black Stars. So, I mean, the Kumasi fans were very buoyant. I mean, they knew that the Black Stars were going to win. In as much as they didn't play really well in the first half, they thought that the goal they conceded was down to the lack of communication between Jiku and also Joseph Edu and also Lawrence Atizigi, and a lot better could have been done to prevent that goal. Then when the equalizer came in, they got settled a bit. And I think that equalizer from Mohamed Kudus came at a very crucial time because it was just some few minutes to the end of the first half, and then he put the ball at the back of the net. Yeah.
All right. Post-game, you've told us the emotions of the fans during the game. Post-game, what were their reactions? What did they say? Were they happy with the results? Were they unhappy with the performance? What were the range, or what was the range of things they expressed? Performance versus results and all of that.
Well, Nathan, I tell you what, in as much as we've qualified to the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, I spoke to a lot of fans, and even those I did not speak to. So one thing that cut across for me was that they were not particularly impressed with the kind of football we exhibited yesterday against CAR, because they thought that Chris Hughton has come in, nothing has changed. I mean, a lot of people even told me that they've not really seen much difference from Citi Akono's time all the way to Milovan to that's Chris Hughton. They think that the football is too mundane, it's too boring. a lot of things must happen. We are too off when it comes to creativity. There's no identity within this team. What is Pizzu team doing? There were so many questions they raised, and if you just push them towards what our chances are towards, clinching the AFCON, they'll tell you that look, they don't think that would win the AFCON, and some of them were even prophesying doom on the team that, what happened in Cameroon when Comoros kicked us out of the group stage will happen again, because this football cannot win you trophies at a major tournament, and a lot of things has to be done. Pizzutin has a lot of work to do. So, the general consensus amongst them was that we won this game based on individual brilliance. You get it? So Mohamed Kudus and also Enesni Amak. And those were the brightest spark in the team, together with Antoine Semenyo. And those are the things that, if you look at our squad, we are unable to merge the quality we have to get a really competitive team. And top of it, or coupled with that, CAR's head coach, that's Raul Savoy, also made a very damning assessment on the team that the Black Stars do have quality in the team, but CAR, his side were the better team. From both ends, and they deserve to qualify. So it just sums up the work that Pizzutin has to do to get his team playing a lot of good football. And then he also talked about Inaki Williams' goal, his drought of not scoring goals. 9 games ever since he switched allegiance to represent the Black Stars, and ever since it's not been the best of performances for him, and that's a major concern for the Kumasi fans.
Gabi, let's just stay on that. I wanted to ask you something about what the Central African Republic coach said, referring to Ghana not doing well at the next AFCON, but maybe we can answer that as the second question. You've mentioned Iñaki Williams. What exactly did Chris Hughton say about Iñaki Williams and his performance? Did you get the sense that Chris Hughton understood the concerns, or do you get the sense that he still believes in Iñaki Williams and he knows that the player is important to his game plan in relation to the Black Stars?
I think what I made of Chris Hughton's answer about Iñaki Williams is that it's still an integral part of the kind of football he wants to play, and so Ghanaians should just brace themselves for Inaki starting more games, because look, he thinks that it's just about time, or it's just a matter of time that Inaki will get on the score sheet. And then when that question was posed to him, he was really confident that strikers do go through this kind of run, and a lot of things are just playing around him. That is why he's gone on this dry run, and he was very optimistic that he'll break that goal scoring drought. But if you look at Inaki's performance for Athletic Bilbao, the games that he's scored for his club side, predominantly he's being played on the right wing, and those were some of the things that the fans were calling for. That why not yank off Inaki Williams, or shift him to the right wing so that he can just play on that side, because clearly he likes to cut in on his favorite foot and try and take a shot at that. And there were some sequence of play when Elisha Owusu had the ball. He hits a very long one. Inaki was on the left, was trying to get a ball, but unfortunately the ball had to go out of play. So I don't think that Chris Hughton has got any plans of benching him anytime soon. That's my opinion from what I picked up from the press conference that happened yesterday. I think that he still has a lot of faith in Inaki Williams to come good for the Black Stars.
And finally, Raul Savoy's comments on Ghana's AFCON chances. Yeah. What exactly did he say, and in which context did he make those comments?
Nathan, look, Raul Savoy is a very interesting character. The pre-match and the post-match conference, he just left us with a lot of sound bites, and I just watched him like, where is this man coming from? So when he talked about, so he was just exiting the presser, all right, and then we wished them good luck in India, heading back to their country. And then the last thing was like, good luck to you. I wish that your AFCON would be like the last one. So it was, that was very off. You could tell from the faces of the pressmen and the presswomen that they didn't like actually what he said. And you see, that's actually the bitter truth, or that's the truth he left for us. Because if you look at our last performances at the AFCON and also the friendlies or the AFCON qualifiers we played, it's not been impressive. So I mean, what I made of that message he left or that remark he left was that he's really done his research about this Black Stars team, and he knows that the team is a disjointed team. Chris Hughton has a lot of work to do, and I mean, you could sense that if not for, I think that some bit of inexperience played in, they could have really staged an upset here in Kumasi. Like I said earlier on in my initial statement, that it was all down to the individual brilliance. Because look, right from when the referee whistled, Car were the better side. They were threatening on so many occasions, and you could tell that he was not so much happy with the way his team lost concentration and allowed Ghana to grow into the game. So, I mean, he finally left that. We'll meet again. You know, Central African Republic are in the same group as we, together with Comoros, Madagascar, Chad, Mali, and yes, in the World Cup qualifier. So when he said we'll meet again, I mean, it's something that we cannot run away from, because we'll definitely meet them again. And the fair time, look, if we don't do our homework, well, I don't think that we stand any chance of breezing past them. Yeah.
All right, Gabby, thank you so much, and we'll see you back in Accra a little later.
All right.
That was Gabriel Ofei. Gabriel Ofei is with the Citi Sports Desk, and he's in Kumasi. He joined us via Zoom.